Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Two for Tuesday. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and you've got Gas, the morning edition. Don't forget, this evening, we're going to be doing it all over again, but with a crew of thousands. Well, maybe 100 or so. Oh, as many of you as want to tune in, we'll get you in, because we're going to be on Zoom this evening. That's right. There's a link on my Facebook page. Please go to it, and at 6 p.m., join us for Zoom in the evening. Won't you, Deb? I see you there. You're not hiding. I see you. Jay Black's watching as well. Thank you for tuning in, and glad you could be here. Richard Turner as well. Well, that's right. We're going to be doing a Two for Tuesday, and we're going to go back to the evening format as well. That's right. We're going to do that. We're going to bring out Gas in the evening, and we're going to do it in Zoom format. So that means you will be on the show. We'll be recording it for a later play on YouTube. On Two Guys Productions. I had to think about that for a second. On Two Guys Productions YouTube page, which, hey guys, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Two Guys, that's T-O-O, guys, and Two Tired Guys. We're two tired guys. Randy and I. Yeah, two tired guys. Yes, I am staying quite well, Deb. And, feeling great. Hope you are too. You're still out there on the front line, so you keep safe too. All right, so again, this evening, 6 p.m., the link is on my Facebook page already. All you got to do is click on it, join the Zoom meeting. It'll be like Hollywood Squares in multiples. That's right, we'll get to see you, and you'll get to see us as well. Now, I've sent the link out to Anna Octane, Bruce Barker, and Joe Walla. Hopefully, time allotted, they will be able to join us for the show, and we'll talk about what's hot, what's not, whatever comes to mind in the evening gas until we get things more organized and get ourselves set up on a regular basis. We want to be able to bring the show back to you the way it used to be when we were in studio, but that can't be for now. So Zoom's going to be the way, and we're going to be doing that at 6 p.m. But today, I'm going to wrap your ass in fiberglass. That's right, because most people think that one of the first sports cars to come out was the Corvette in fiberglass. Well, not so fast, monkey. Chevrolet was a little bit later. That's right, because there were a lot of handmade sports cars coming out, and probably the best looking of them all was the car that I really like, and that's the Glasspar G2. Now, it was a car that came out between two Air Force guys that were Californians building hot rods, and, they wanted to build something a little bit more flashy. So they got together and created the Glasspar. Now, Ken Brooks was one of these guys, and Mr. Tritt, T-R-I-T-T, was the other. They were trying to build cars in aluminum, but didn't really work out real well because it was expensive at the time. So about late 1940s, they started building a sports car in fiberglass, and it was a beauty. Lines very reminiscent of the Jaguar XK120. It sat on a Willys chassis. Ooh, really? And it had a Willys engine. Ooh, no. Well, I don't know if it was a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder, but that's what it was. Now, it got so much recognition that they started building cars. Now, they built probably 200 or so G2s. But what really put them on the map is Life magazine in 1952 did a spread on this car because it was exciting for the time. And they were using different chassis other than just the plain old Willys and modified it. And then they also put an Arden Merc under the hood. They were giving the guys a hard time on the race courses, keeping up with the likes of Ferrari and Maserati and others. The car was very stylish, very pretty. Now, it did have some drawbacks. First off, it didn't have doors. You had to climb in. It didn't have side windows, so you had no weather protection. But it did have this sleek, gorgeous looking body. And I posted a picture of the raw fiberglass body on with the page, but you've got to go to jalopnik.com, Forgotten Cars, when fiberglass was king, and you can see finished versions of the G2, and it was an exciting machine. Now, the Korean War came about, and that created issues with getting supplies, but there were other things as well. The car business was not, the replica car business or the fiberglass car business was not really strong enough to support it. And after a while, they gave up and started building boats. And that's what Glass Bar is more known for, is their boats. Okay. Well, you turn this thing over, it'll float, I guess. Mark McGeorge says there was an aluminum vet with a rotary engine. Yeah, there was. And Mark was one of the handlers for the GM cars, and that was way back when. Okay, and let's see what someone else is saying here. Oh, Cassie Nunez wants to know is, why didn't everyone make cars out of fiberglass? It worked for the Corvette. Why not the rest of the cars? Well, first off, it's expensive. At the time when the Corvette came out, all these bodies were handmade. In the case of the Corvette, they made a mold starting with a hand-carved wooden buck. Each component, each section of the body was done by hand. You had multiple people laying down mats of fiberglass and putting these bodies together, making them out of resin and fiberglass, and then having to assemble them. It was a hand process. The first year of the Corvette, there were only 200 made. The process was very slow. Now, they've picked it up, and they use composites and such, and fiberglass, but they use quicker methods of doing it, and yes, that could have been done. It wasn't very sturdy in the sense of steel. It wasn't heavy, which was very good. It wasn't very crash resistant. And it was not really well used. The bracing necessary to make a sedan out of fiberglass, for example, was quite difficult and quite time consuming. The only ones that have made a production car out of fiberglass was Studebaker. And someone will correct me on that if you will. The Avante, it was a 4-seat car and it was fiberglass. But again, it's a full production car, and it took a lot of work to get that done. Now, when Glass Bar went out of business, that wasn't the end of fiberglass sports cars. There are a whole host of companies that have come since and made sports cars out of fiberglass. Most of them now are replicas of actual cars. And Eddie Shore, another fiberglass car, the 1971 Saab Sonnet, all fiberglass body, very small car. It's got bracing within the car to hold the roof up. Hi, Phil. You can join the broadcast when? Today? I don't know how to bring you on, Phil, but we'll figure it out. You can this evening, 6 p.m. on Zoom. I've already posted the link, Phil. Join us at that point, okay? I can't bring you on right now because, well, it's just not working. I've tried. So we'll work on that. But this evening, Phil, you can definitely be on GAAS, the evening edition on Zoom. I've already posted the link. But Eddie Shore is quite right. The fiberglass Saab Sonnet, and his is a gorgeous one. Debbie Bradshaw says, make sure you post the Zoom link. I did, Deb. Definitely will tune in tonight. Need a car sanity break? Yes, we do, from your pharmacy work. Yeah, you're working at it hard. And Deb, if you go on my Facebook page right now, the link is there for you. You can tap on that at 6 p.m. and join us at the Zoom. They call it a Zoom meeting. We're calling it a GAAS show. So we're going to have everybody there. Cassie says, could they have made muscle cars like the Camaro out of fiberglass and gotten faster cars back in the day? Sure, they could have, but they didn't. Again, it was more expensive and more time-consuming to produce. Steel was easier, quicker, and cheaper. Rapid Robbie Roth is here. Now, companies like FiberFab made some replicas, but they also made their own design vehicles. They made the Jamaican. They made the Aztec 7. They had a replica of the GT40. They had the MG Midgie, or a kind of a copy of an MGTD, along with a number of other companies. There were companies making fiberglass Porsche 356s. They still are. Speedsters are out there. T-Buckets were one of the first cars made in fiberglass, a replica that you could get. There are a lot of kit cars today still made out of fiberglass that bolt onto existing chassis. One of the more popular chassis today is the Fiero. I know they're hard to find, and people that Fiero, they weren't that bad, folks. The early kit cars were based primarily on Volkswagens because they were easy to do. And I'm still loving that. I mean, I drove a friend's Kelmark, which was a kit car, fiberglass, looking like a Ferrari, bolted to a Volkswagen chassis. In some cases, they also had what they called a mid-engine that used a Corvair axle flipped over backwards or a Tornado setup with a V8 in it. And the buddy of mine that had one was a rep for Kelmark, and I got to drive his Volkswagen-powered car. He did have a V8 as well. Cassie Nunez says her dad's T-Bucket was fiberglass. Yep, there's a whole lot of T-Buckets built that are fiberglass because, again, it was less expensive. Hi, Jessica. Hope you're feeling well. How you doing there in the far-off land? And it's warm there, right? It's getting warm, Jessica. You're going to be able to go out and hopefully go racing soon. I understand that they're still shut down there in Europe, but you'll get there. I know you will. Yes, you're in Sweden, and you love it, and I know. And I'd love to come over there, and you know what? Peg and I just might do that. But there were a lot of other fiberglass cars. There was the Bradley GT. There was a van called the Brubaker Box out of fiberglass, and there is actually one sitting over the original one, from what I understand, possibly being restored for a very well-known ventriloquist comedian. And it's over at GAAS. No, not me. Galpin Autosports. They are restoring this car, and they're going to do a whole show on it. It's going to be really neat. Check it out. It's Car Kings, and they are doing the restoration of the Brubaker Box, a fiberglass van. There have been a lot of fiberglass pieces made for Volkswagen Beetles. Fenders, hoods, trunk lids, even a sedan delivery fiberglass body made to attach to a Volkswagen body. Or just take the body off and put on a sports car body, and you've got an instant air-cooled 4-cylinder sports car that is very economical and fun to do. Cassie, Irwindale opens up this Saturday. That's right, Saturday and Sunday. Drag racing returns to Irwindale Drag Strip. Now, the problem is no spectators allowed. And that is still the County of Los Angeles regulation. They will have race cars there. If you bring a car, you enter the race. Now, here's the thing. Enter the race. You can be there. But it's limited to 100 cars. They're going to have Summit Series, Junior Dragsters, and Test and Tune. Test and Tune's on Saturday. Summit Series and Juniors on Sunday. Danny Althouse, how you doing? Oh, Sweden is closed up and for sale. You know that's happening here. They got a couple of tracks here in the States that are not reopening this year. And that is tough. It's a real sad situation. Troy Glenn, how are you doing today? Mr. Fuel Altered and Top Fuel, how are you? You got a great car, and gosh, I hope to see you guys out soon. I got you excited for a minute, Cassie. Oh, well, drag racing is coming back slowly, but it's coming back. Hi, Danny. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. Elise, how are you doing? Elise Calderwood is just tuning in as well. All right, so fiberglass cars, they're here to stay. They will always be here to stay. There's always someone who wants to build their dream sports car. They can't afford the Ferrari. They can't afford the Countach. They can't afford whatever it is, but they can get the replica and enjoy it. Jessica saying, we're having a cold weather today. Hope we can go racing soon. Looking forward. Yeah, and hope you get here to the States too. Jim Smith is watching us right now too. But again, don't forget, folks, tonight, 6 p.m., GAAS returns. That's right. You get gas again. It's gas in the evening. Do they have fuel insurance at Irwindale? I believe they do, Troy. All you got to do is give them a call, though, and they can let you know for sure. Steve Sherman, you can get him on Facebook. He might be able to let you know. We have run the Wild Willie Bosch car. Mike was driving that at Irwindale. We've had a couple of pro mods out there. I don't know if they're running on nitro or alcohol. We've had, obviously, nitro revival there. So we've been having cars out there with nitro. Not sure what the status of that insurance is right now. Let's see. Rapid Robbie Roth. Have you ever seen a 1975 Birkeland? Yes, I have. Little sports car. Cool little thing. It's got its own tube chassis. Cassie Nunez says, not sure if fiberglass or carbon fiber, but there's a charger in the valley called the Tantrum, and it's all customized. Look it up. I will. I'll take a look at that. Now, a lot of cars have been made in fiberglass. A lot of components are made in fiberglass. You can buy complete lift-off front ends for Camaros, Novas, Mustangs, and so forth in fiberglass. And obviously, funny cars are made out of fiberglass. So it's out there. Thanks, Troy. And I hope we can get together soon for the Nitro deal. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Hot Rod Bob. You've had gas. You may still have it. I don't know. I'm not that intimate with you, but we'll take it from there. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got gas. Great American Auto Scene, brought to you each morning by Valley Head Service, Irwindale Speedway, Irwindale Drag Strip. Oh, Alan Gonick is looking up Kaiser Darren. Yeah, that was a production sports car, too. It had unique sliding doors. They didn't open like a conventional door. They slid into the front fenders, and they were powered by a 6-cylinder engine. Some of them even got supercharged. All right, back to closing off today's show, because we can go on. Tell you what, Alan, tune in this evening. We'll talk about fiberglass cars and sports cars and whatever you want on your evening gas. It'll be on Zoom. The link is already on my page. Just click on it at 6 p.m. and join the Zoom meeting this evening. It's Gas in the Evening at 6 p.m. We'll be on Zoom, and then we'll be recording that show. So remember, if you tune into the show tonight, you will be recorded, and we will play it on YouTube. So if you're trying to hide from someone you owe money or something, you're in the witness protection plan, you may not want to get on the show tonight. But if you're not part of that group, join us tonight, Gas in the Evening on Zoom. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got gas. Brought to you by Moon Eyes, Irwindale Speedway, Valley Head Service, Irwindale Drag Strip, Tucker Tire, Service Tech, with all your service shop needs. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You have a great day. See you at 6 p.m. tonight. Take care, folks.